Welcome back to my workshop. Now today's something slightly different. What I've got to do is empty the contents of this box, which is a TV bracket, because I need to fit this TV, which is quite big, to this wall. Right, so let's have a look in the box. Okay, so what have we got? We've got this box, okay? It's a VonHaus 3005060 television bracket. Okay, get some instructions. You get the two brackets that go onto the television. You get a whole lot of screws and bolts, and then you get the actual bracket itself. So let's get these out of the bag. Okay, so that's what you get. Now this is quite a good bracket, or quite a chunky bracket, and it actually pivots, it tilts and pivots. So once it's actually on the wall, you can pull the TV away from the wall like this, okay, and then you can swivel it. That's the idea. Okay, this is by VonHaus, it says it here. Okay, and it should be able to take this TV. Okay, now this is a 51-inch TV. It's a Panasonic. So in theory, this should be okay. Now, if you're not sure, okay, if you look on the instructions here, it says the maximum weight that this can hold, which is 45 kilos or 100 pounds. Okay, so it should be good for this TV. Right, what I'm going to do now is follow the instructions, but what I have to do first is clear this space so it can go on this bit of the wall. That means I've got to move the CNC machine and that big pile of crap. So this might seem a bit extreme, having a 51-inch TV in your workshop, but there is a reason. First of all, we've replaced our television, so this one is going spare. And the second thing is I run the CNC machine and I've got two lasers. Now each of those need a screen, so the idea is have it here, then have my CNC here and my lasers next to it. Okay, so they're one monitor for all of the machines. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do is, I know this wall is solid, it's brick, okay, but obviously you should check it for any nails, screws, pipe work, electricity. Okay, I know here I've got a gas pipe here, so I've got to be careful of that, but it should be away from the gas pipe. Okay, so basically run the detector across the wall, make sure I haven't got anything in the way of nastiness. Right, there's one other thing I need to take into consideration, and that's this cupboard here. Okay, when I open it, obviously I need the TV to not be in the way. Okay, so this is my maximum mark here. Okay, I know how wide the TV is and I know how tall it is. So basically my TV, which is this far, okay, and I know how tall it is. Okay, so what I've done is I've marked a position here which is dead in the middle of where the TV has got to go. Right, so in this little bandolier of goodies here, it's got all the nuts and bolts in it and raw plugs, but it's also got this, which is a little spirit level. Let's pull it out. Okay, little spirit level, which you could use. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a laser, of course. And the one I've got is this. So I've got this one here, which is a Stanley cube. Okay, literally fire that on. And that gives me this. Let me turn the lights off. Okay, so all I can do is line that up with the centre. Okay, so I've now got that lined up with the centre. And all I need to do is fit this right there. Okay, according to the instructions, for a solid wall, it suggests 4 fixings at the top and then 2 at the bottom. Okay, so that's what I'll do. So what I've done is I've held up my bracket, I've opened it out, I've held up my bracket so it's on the centre line, but then I marked another line at the base. Okay, then that way I could see my laser without struggling. Okay, and all I'm going to do is line this up, and then on 4 of these holes at the top, I'm going to draw a little mark, and 2 on the bottom, I'm going to draw a little mark. I know I can drill there. Okay, right, let's do that. Okay, to make my life easier there, what I've done is I've just done 2 marks at the top. So what I could do is I can get this bolted up with 2 bolts, then I can drill the other holes afterwards. Right, so as usual, I haven't planned this very well. What I need now is my SDS drill, obviously to drill the holes in the wall. But my SDS drill is over there in a cupboard. I've now got a CNC machine in the way and a big television. Yeah, so it's all behind there. So what I'm going to do is, it's now getting quite late. Okay, I'm going to leave it until tomorrow morning, and hopefully I can move all this lot. Right, so I've managed to dig all that light out now. I've managed to get my SDS drill out, which is this one. This is my Titan. Okay, I've done a video for this. This is up here. Very good drill. It's got me out of quite a few sticky situations. Right, so which drill bit do I need? Let's have a look at the instructions. Right, according to the instructions here, what I need to do is use these bolts, bolt A, and washers D. Okay, and these raw plugs B. Right, how big are these raw plugs? Right, so just pulled these raw plugs out. Have a quick measure up here. These say 9.52, so I think a 10mm drill will be fine. But if you actually look on it, let's see if I can show you. Okay, it says 10 by 50. Okay, so that's 50mm long and 10mm wide. So I need a 10mm masonry bit. See if I've got one of those. Right, so I've got a 10mm masonry bit, SDS fitting. What I've done is I've just put a bit of tape, which is about 50mm, just over 50mm from the end. Okay, so I know how deep I'm going. Okay, let's stop mucking about. Let's drill a couple of holes in the wall. Okay, so I've drilled the first 2 holes, put the first 2 raw plugs in. Now they were slightly loose, I think, because this is was an external wall. There's some pebble dashing underneath, and I think I hit stones, and it's actually sent the drill sideways, so it made the hole slightly bigger. So I think what I'll do for the next holes, I'll use an 8mm bit, and then I can work that in and out to get me the right size. But what I'll do now is I'll mount this with 2 bolts, and then I can mark out the rest of my holes. Right, so that's quickly in place. What I could do now is I could actually use the little spirit level that they supplied. It's actually got a little lip on it, so you can actually hook it on, which is funky. Right, so I've got my first 2 bolts in now. It's holding it quite sturdy. I've checked the spirit level on the top of the bracket on the wall, and also checked it on here, and there seemed to be a bit of a difference. So they were a bit twisted like this, but it's okay, because on the front panel here, you've got some adjusting bolts around the back. Hopefully you can see them, these ones here. Okay, so you can actually align it. So now this is level and the bracket's level. Right, what I'm going to do now is, even though I lost one pencil, I've just found another pencil, which is a Frank's Little Workshop pencil. What I'm going to do now is mark out where I'm going to drill the other holes, and then take this back off the wall, drill some more holes. Right, so that's now securely mounted to the wall. It does feel quite secure, I must admit, and it should obviously pivot out like this. So it should be able to angle the TV. But the next bit is this, is putting these on the back of the TV. Now these obviously hook on here, okay, and then there's a screw underneath that you can screw it to fix it in place. But these can also tilt, okay, so you can angle the TV down. All right, so what I've got to do now is mount these onto the back of the TV. Okay, so this will be obviously different for each TV you have, but what you do is, in your selection of goodies, you get a range of screws. Now I've selected the ones that are the right ones for the back of my TV. And all you do is, one of the bolts goes through the bracket, then you get these spacers. Now don't forget to put the spacers in, because otherwise really bad things can happen. Okay, so you have two of these, and obviously you can determine how high you want your TV. I've decided I want this on the bottom one. Let me show you putting them in. Right, well, it's up on the wall. I tried about 2 or 3 times to lift that up on my own. I couldn't do it because I couldn't see what I was hooking on. Okay, so I had to get Mrs. Little Workshop to give me a hand. Finally got it up on the wall. Now this bracket is just on the limit of this screen. It should be able to take a bigger TV than this, according to the instructions, but this is right on the limit. Okay, so this is now running off my laptop. What I will do is I'll get a switch over box so I can switch between my CNC and my laser. I probably won't move it around much because it is quite a big TV, but in theory it can be moved. but I think I'll keep it as close to the wall as possible. Okay, so that's that. I've now got to get my CNC machine back in place and sort out this pile of rubbish. Right, hopefully that showed you the basic idea of how to fit a bracket onto the wall. This is a very big TV and it's quite old, so it's quite heavy, but a lot of new modern TVs are a lot lighter. Anyway, I've now got a 51-inch TV in my workshop. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Right, so this may seem a bit extreme, having a 51-inch TV. Going to go from that mark. Where is it? So, I'm out of focus. That's not so good.